Welcome back. Well, drought has begun developing in parts of Queensland, New South Wales and Western Australia, with farmers starting to make some tough decisions as dry conditions set in. For more, I'm joined by David Foote, Chair of Cattle Australia. David, good morning to you and thanks so much for joining us. El Niño alert is still in place, but we could see the BOM declare El Niño as early as today. Now, is this creating some anxiousness among cattle farmers across the country?
You see, the declaration of El Niño by the BOM, which, as you said, should come out today. There's a 70% chance of an alert already in place. Bottom part of Queensland and certainly northern parts of New South Wales have been extremely dry, unseasonably dry. So, yes, preparations in those areas have been underway for several months now. Of course, for people in the north, with the wet season onset generally towards the end of the year, they have better prospects for overcoming that situation by then. But you're going past spring in parts of New South Wales, it's a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already seen recently sale yard numbers in parts of particularly central west New South Wales. Well, they've really boomed over the past week. Is this a sign farmers are destocking in preparation for what is likely to be quite a tough season?
Well, I think, Lucy, what's important is people not destocking as such, but reducing surplus numbers down to their core herds or their core flocks is a really, really important way of setting up for an onset of a prolonged dry, if that's what is forecast, and taking advantage of, while they're in good condition, is releasing those stock from the properties.
Yes, indeed. We've had a couple of wetter than average years, but the dry season now that we're moving into, that's not the only challenge farmers are facing. With interest rates up, fodder is also hard to source and cattle prices dropping too. So there's still quite a number of challenges that cattle farmers are facing.
Lucy, it's an ongoing challenge for farmers. I mean, history is one of the most resilient groups across the country, facing floods, fires, droughts, all in the same season, some parts. But it is really, really important that we look after. I mean, they are our food and fibre source to keep us well fed and well clothed. But the challenges are there. It's not new. The 3 La Niña periods were exceptional rains, in some cases devastating floods as a result of the volatility of our weather. But importantly it's just being prepared early, either having enough grain in your silos or hay in your sheds and stocking down to meet the forecast season, whether it be good, bad or indifferent. Absolutely.
Now, currently there is the Bushfire Summit series taking place around the country. Is this something that has been addressed as such or brought up and talked about? You spoke about preparations. Is this something that, should be talked about at the Bush Summit at the moment, as we do probably stare down a very dry season ahead?
I think, Lucy, the Bush Summit has really been about the big headline issues across that are affecting the Australian and the bush. And from the cattle industry perspective, that's the emerging animal disease issues or the threat of, be it LSD or FMD coming in from our northern countries. The other thing is about telecommunications across the bush. We still have an unbelievably poor connectivity system, which is actually really reducing the chance to enhance newest innovations available to the bush. So connectivity is really important, but we're still recovering actually from the original bushfires of the 19s and particularly the devastating floods. So it's catch-up time still across most of the bush.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about support? Are you getting enough support, or is the industry getting enough support from both the state and federal level?
It's easy to say yes on this occasion, and thankfully to say yes, because there were drought hubs set up after the 2018-2019 devastating droughts, which had the whole of the eastern states of Australia in crippling drought. So those drought hubs are still in place. As a result of those hubs have come farmer resilience programs and training sessions. So each of the states are actually well prepared and well resourced, and farmers just have to find where to look to get that assistance. But my call is to get it early, don't wait till it's too late.
Absolutely, and that's something that Cattle Australia can assist with, no doubt, if people are unsure of where to go or where to start.
Absolutely. Come to Cattle Australia. There's a 1300 number, or to your local state farming organisation, or if it has back to your Department of Agriculture or Department of Primary Industries, whichever state you're in. So there is a lot of assistance and programs and guidance out there for people. It won't make it rain, but it'll certainly actually give it help and some guidance.
Well, and that's exactly what we need. And as you say, preparation is certainly key. David Foote, appreciate your time, and we'll certainly be touching base throughout the course of the season as well. Thank you.
Thanks for your interest.